welcome back once again. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. My new subscribers, you are now families. In case you don't know why I call you families, once you join, once you subscribe, you have become family of True Family, of AES, of Africa family. Whether you are black, whether you are white, yellow, it doesn't matter. Whatever you are, so far as you have subscribed, you are a family, because it means we all have common idea, common interest, and something in common. Let's put it that way. So I thank you for doing that. This video is about the July 1st, what happened, the historical event that happened in July. You will watch or listen to an interview before this one. This is continuation of that. Please listen careful about this interview. You will learn something. Yes, I promise. I will be back.
Why are terrorists targeting Mali? What are the geopolitical stakes? To learn more, we spoke with Dr. Adama Diabate. Let's listen.
We are leaving Mr. Sako in a very crucial period in geopolitics today. We have found ourselves at the very epicenter of this geopolitical shift, where the race that has illegally dominated the entire world is on the verge of being dethroned. Since the so-called independences up to today, Africa has not created anything geopolitically reliable that could be compared to the AIS. It has never happened. I told you, I said that this is Africa's first real awakening, because our first leaders like Modibo Keita and Modibo Kuruma had the right ideas. They had the intention, but the geopolitical circumstances were not favorable. They were too far ahead of their people, ahead of their time. They were not lucky. Today, the enemy is desperate. You'll even see that the way things are being done in Mali today is exactly like in Ukraine. Exactly. In fact, Mauritania is already involved. If you didn't know, there is no terrorism without involving Mr. Sako. I've always said that. Terrorism, in reality, if I may say so as a trained diplomat, there is no such thing as terrorism. They are mercenaries. It's the new form of diplomacy. But when you're the victim on the other side, you see them as terrorists. They're the cheapest tools in geopolitics today. The cheapest way to achieve one's goals, because the Machiavellian plan of the West today is Africa without Africans. Tell me, on what basis could Europe have become what it is today in terms of resources, if not for the total military presence imposed on Africa? If the population that makes up the AES understood the magnitude of this formation, we would all enlist in the army. This is a war over resources. It's an existential war for the West. I'll say it again. They're sending us terrorists to disturb us to the point where the population will start to lose hope. Their only hope is to make us lose hope. Because the moment we lose hope, we will abandon our leaders. And that's when we will be weak. Because today, if our leaders are strong, if they do everything they've done, and the West can't find ways to clip their wings, it's because they understand that it's the population itself, for the most part, that is behind this. And it's this support that we must always seek. And it's this explanation that we must always provide, Mr. Savon. You and us, that terrorist act there, it has no military value whatsoever. Let me explain. Military value means an act that can influence the balance of power on the front line. Zero in that sense. This act has only one meaning, one purpose: propaganda and communication. It's the same methods. And besides, they are so limited. They are not creative in their way of operating. It doesn't change. You go to Mali, you compare it to Ukraine or even Iran. It's the same thing. And those who have the weapons, their way of operating tells you everything. They're in disarray. They're drifting, they're lost. No matter what they try to explain to you, they know they don't have much of a chance. But they always hope that by carrying out isolated attacks, they'll create panic among us, the population, because their only hope is to make us lose hope. As soon as we lose hope, we abandon the course set by our leaders. And at that point, everything will be lost and they will win. And I warn you, may God protect us, dear brother. If that happens to us, I don't even want to say we won't even have the chance to be slaves this time. We will be exterminated. When you slaughter an animal, no matter its condition, for a while it will make grimaces. Does that mean it's still alive? No, it's no longer alive. That's just the nerves reacting. That's what the West is like. The West has no more chances left. Now, with the geopolitical shift, do we want to be actors in it or do we want to remain victims? As I told you, there will always be some residual insecurity after a country has gone through what we've endured for more than 10 years. There's no precedent in history for it to end overnight. There will always be this period of residual instability, but it will gradually subside because the enemy is aware of this head on. They don't stand a chance today. But the question now is they are going to try to demoralize the population through acts like those of the 1st of July. And as you saw, thank God, what a defeat it was for them and what a show of strength. I would say that in a way, this event was actually beneficial for the Malian army because many skeptics either fell silent, those who were more or less hesitant, or even some of them are actually shaken because the level of coordination, 7 simultaneous attacks, well, there should have been some breaches somewhere. And the fact that we were able to control and minimize the damage so much shows the level of professionalism. When we say the army is gaining strength, it's not just the army. I said all the cycles that make up the security system, the information, meaning intelligence, whether it's general, military, or even the military deployment, everything was so well coordinated. It looked like it was a rehearsal.
Thank you so much, families, for listening and watching. Again, a lot of things touched my heart when he said that if we lose this time, that means, excuse me, pardon me, we are worse than the slaves. And it's so right because at that time, I must say that maybe many do not hear the news. Information is not out like it is now. But right now, many of us, especially our leaders, knows what is going on. They knew or knows that agenda, yet they just put cotton into their ears and pretend they can't hear. I was listening to Mr. I always call him Mr. President Ruto saying that, okay, you want me to go. How do you want me to go? Tell me how I should go. And then all of a sudden he has come out with some idea of some millions or billions of projects he wants to do. And I was asking myself, so where were these projects when people are dying on the street protesting? You just come out with this idea, just magically this idea has appeared. The last time he was talking about, creating jobs abroad for them. They know and they pretend. I'm talking about Africa in general here. That's why I brought that example because that's what came into my mind when our brother was saying that if Africa do not win this time, I mean, if the AES do not win, it means the whole Africa. It will be worse. I feel it. Many of us feel it. And that's why we are supporting the AES. We knew that they are the torch. They are holding that key now. And that's why they are trying to break them. Families, please listen to more. And I'll be back.
What do the experts think about this victory by the Defense and Security Forces? Our reporter, Sergeant Betafona, tells us more.
In the streets of Bamako, as well as on the red dirt roads of remote villages, the same light shines in people's eyes, the light of hope, In Bamako, the voices of experts echo through the halls of institutes and the studios of political analysis. For Dr. Golo Diarra, this victory for Mali resonates throughout all countries as a breath of unity and hope. This success embodies the aspirations of a people for resilience and renewal. According to him, significant progress has already been observed, and if the current momentum is maintained, it could lay the foundations for lasting stability.
There really has been a change, as you know. When President Goita and his companions, whom I call the circle of officers, took power, Mali was in a state of decay. Mali was on its deathbed. At that time, the country was divided, obviously, with separatist armed groups claiming 800,000 square kilometers, the supposed state of Azawad with Gao as its capital. Work had to be done, and the country was under an international diktat. Can you imagine that the armed and separatist groups, supported by the United Nations to oversee the implementation of the Algiers Agreement, a violation of international law to the detriment of the Republic of Mali, a member of the United Nations since 1960, were forcing this country to negotiate with outlaws? And it is precisely this diktat that President Goita, along with his compatriots and some of his friends, truly decided to put an end to. That is already a success with the liberation of Kidal. And today, the army, thanks to the efforts that have been made, is now able to operate independently. So that is a success.
The promises of peace, national unity, and development are no longer just empty slogans. Today, they resonate as a call for renewal.
There has obviously been a renewal of Malian diplomacy. So that deserves to be acknowledged. There has been the Bamako-Moscow axis, which has truly allowed us to acquire the necessary weaponry. There has also been the Bamako-Ankara axis. And furthermore, the president has always stated in his geopolitical vision that Mali is open to all countries, provided that those countries respect the strategic choices of the Malian state. And in this regard as well, he's writing the contemporary history of the sub-region, and history is proving him right. When he, along with his counterparts from Burkina Faso and of course Niger, established this alliance now with Lias also present and continue to assert themselves in the region, history is once again proving him right in this fight against terrorism. This is not just a matter for President Guitard and the other decision makers. Everyone needs to get involved. You need to get involved just like the rest of us. And when I came from those hostile areas, I even helped dig the individual foxholes for a soldier to lie in while waiting for the unknown soldier so that we could sleep, so that you could sleep. He sleeps in the hole waiting for the soldier. All Malians were able to take part. This is an act of citizenship. So supporting and helping President Goita to get there is what we can do. He's doing his best, whatever the situation may be. He is a president, a valiant officer who has truly given everything needed for the country. I'm sure that if everyone commits themselves like this, we will obviously be able to overcome this kind of threat against our country.
In the markets, gathering places, and homes, the Malian people are savoring this victory with emotion. Songs, dances, and prayers blend together to celebrate this moment, which for an instant erases sorrows and nourishes the hope of a better future.
Thank you so much, families, for listening and watching. Again, he has also touched on a lot of things, the reactions of the people on the street, the citizens. This is a great example. I was saying the other day, maybe I said it myself without recording it, that I have not heard all those channels that have been screaming about how many people that the terrorists has deleted in the Sahara. I haven't heard of what happened in 1st in July. That 80 has been deleted, terrorists has been, nobody. I haven't heard. Have you heard it anywhere? It's like something happened to them. What they wanted to happen doesn't. Rather, it has empowered the Malians, the Nigerians, the Burkinabes, the whole Africa who are watching what is going on in the Sahel. It has empowered all of us that, yes, they can do it. Those that they want to weaken so they can turn their back on their leaders, like our brother, our uncle said, it won't happen. Not this time. That's why they are celebrating. That's why they are jubilating that this time it doesn't happen. There is more that I will share with you in my next video. I will leave you here, families. Credit to ORTM and the Citizens Defense Team for sharing the inside information with us, what is going on, so we will know the real story or the truth of what is going on there, not the truth that people have hide in the bush and pretend and were eating with the terrorists and pretend they are resistance. Yes, that video you will see that. This is what is happening. This is life. This is not, they are not animals. These are proper human beings that are protecting themselves. Because if they fail, this will set us back years and years. And I cannot imagine that. My kings and queens, my VIPs, thank you so much for your support, your encouragement, everything. My returning families, I'm so grateful. I'm grateful for your support, liking the video, sharing the video. Thank you. God bless you all. If you are new here, please kindly subscribe to support this channel. Share it as well. Let people know what is really going on. I don't sit here to narrate anything. I just react, show you the true news, what is going on over there. Thank you. God bless you all. I'll be back with the next one, also on Mali, part 3.